Uh, there we go. There we go. What's up, Crystal? Good morning, millionaire. My name is Haziq Ali. I'm a revenue acceleration coach and somebody who's dedicated to helping you go further, faster, with less effort. I want to say good morning, millionaire. We do this every weekday, Monday through Friday. We do 7:30 a.m. 9 a.m. We do on the weekends we do 9 a.m. Saturdays is hosted by Amma, the CPA. Sundays is hosted by Dr. Kadira. That's my sister. She's an Ivy League educated physician. Her whole thing is wellness is the new wealth, right? So it's been a lot of fun. Yeah, checking in. What's up, Michelle? Good morning, millionaire. How's everybody feeling? Share this training with an entrepreneur, man. Sharing is caring. A lot of times you're able to do magnificent things with your impact just by helping other people. The way I always put it is you got to serve before you deserve. What's up, Erica? It was so cool getting to meet you this weekend. My man Trey Brown in the house. Good morning, millionaire. Yeah. Adam Smith checking in. Good morning, brother. Good morning. Okay. Kim Connor in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Mama Mahasan. Okay. Let them know what kind of business you got. How you make impact in the world. We here for it. It's check-in time, baby. Share this broadcast with somebody, especially entrepreneurs. This is for everybody, but I'm mostly talking to the people who are applying their faith to help the world. We call those entrepreneurs. Napoleon Hill said something crazy. He was like, if you really want a mastermind alliance, if you really want to make it where when two or more are gathered in his name, God steps in the building, you got to have these 6 qualities to what you're doing. He said one was dependability, one was loyalty, one was positive mental attitude, one was going the extra mile, and one was applied faith. The ability to take what it is you believe in and then apply it. Actually put some work in. Actually had the courage of your convictions. Ain't that cool? Man, I love that. We call those entrepreneurs. And that's who we're here to help. Got some more of them checking in, matter of fact. Who else we got up in here? Allie Goins checking in. What's up, Alicia? Okay, we got the wealth coach in the house. All right, let's get it, man. I'm going to call in on this live line. Let's go ahead and get this party started. In one word, how was your Monday? In one word, how was your Monday yesterday? How we feeling? I know my man JG.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time because we're going to break.
Please enter your. Thank you. Please announce yourself. All participants are muted. Entry and exit tones are off.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Vita Lachey checking in. Mr. Andrews in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, and everybody needs a videographer. I love that. Okay, Diamond went with successful. Kim Carter went with fabulous. Amazing came a couple times. All right. Okay, let's get it. All right. Yeah, man, if you're the wealth coach, it sounds like you mostly talking about the financial services wealth coach. Good stuff. Or you should be the health and wealth coach. Think about that. Even that title is a way to Okay, I love it. I love it. So this morning, what we're here to talk about, we're continuing yesterday's training where we were kind of breaking down all of this stuff about how to step your life up a little bit, right? In terms of like not letting stress rock your world so quickly. We gave a bunch of ideas for it. I bet you some of you were here yesterday, some of you weren't, so I'll cover some of them for you. But for those that were here, maybe you remember we talked about how stress is seriously, ridiculously handicapping and debilitative if you let the stress just go on constantly. But then, and the reason why I want you to share this with any entrepreneurs you know, is that we also discovered that stress is absolutely necessary because stress literally pushes your brain to keep on growing. Stress is how your brain gets out there and powers through cognitive performance, grows these new cells, and then starts pumping what's called gray. You know, we affectionately call it gray matter. I won't bother you with what it's really called, but that gray matter starts to coat these super highways that form between the dendrites in your brain, right? But the way that all of this happens is what we call stress. In nature, it's called perturbation. Literally, in nature, things only grow or die. But just like everything else, y'all, if you've got too much of a good thing, it begins to hurt you, not help you. Ain't that right, Sharon? Sharon and Crystal checking in on Clubhouse. I love it. So yesterday we talked about 1, you need to appreciate what you have a lot more. 2, we talked about how you need to avoid asking what if. 3, we talked about staying positive. 4, we talked about disconnecting. 5, we talked about limiting the caffeine. If you're ready for number 6, let me see I'm ready and then give me a share. Let me just make sure the millionaires is in the house, baby. Give me a I'm ready and a share. Let's get busy. Y'all know it's a Tuesday, baby. I mean, you got to wake certain people up. Everybody ain't ready. You know what I mean? Everybody ain't ready. Crystal went with zesty. I like it. I like it. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, Erica. That's what I'm talking about, Erica. What's up, Alonzo? Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, all right. Okay, we ready. We ready then. We ready. We ready. We ready. I love it. I love it. I love it. My man William, like, I've been ready. Let's get it. Let's get it. All right, Coach Carvel checking in. I was wondering where you was, baby. All right. I'm just saying, am I in the right place? Appreciate it, Kim, for sharing them videos, throwing it in the messenger groups and all that. Now we talking, baby. Let's get it. All right, so here's number 6, y'all. Let's get this thing going. Let's get this thing going. Here's number 6. They sleep. Y'all hear me talk about this all the time because, you know, a lot of times we prop up this lack of sleep thing like it's honorable. What are we doing? Millionaires, we're increasing our stress level. One of the keys to you being able to control your emotions is you having some resiliency. It's you having some bounce back. It's you having some emotional intelligence. Millionaires, do you know sleep does all that? When you sleep, you literally recharge. You shuffle through everything that happened during that day, and then you store some memories. You discard most of them, though. I mean, this is where dreaming comes. This is what you call dreams. It's that reverb. It's that kind of like gunk off everything that happened to you and how you're processing. And what it allows you to do is wake up alert and clear-headed. Now you have a clearer kind of vibration. Now your self-control is at a higher level. Now your attention, your capacity to pay attention, which is where you get all this return on your investment, right? When you pay attention, your ability to do that goes up because you got some sleep. Millionaires, sleep deprivation raises stress hormone levels by itself. And if you're an entrepreneur, it's important you know this. Share this with somebody who's just not getting enough rest, because a lot of times you are doing too much and yet not doing enough. I ain't trying to step on nobody's toes, but when you're doing these stressful projects and you feel like you have no time to sleep, but then you finally get that thing done, and you take that time out to man, you're gonna feel like up. Me and my partner were just talking about it this weekend, because it's like we went so crazy putting this thing together, and he went even crazier than me because it was mostly his training. Listen to me. He probably got 6 hours of sleep the entire weekend. We went to Houston's after we left the whole thing just to like debrief, just to go through things, kind of discuss while it's fresh, figure out how we can improve everything. Man, on the way home, both my partners called me because the missus was driving. Man, he was asleep 3 minutes into that thing. But he hit me the next day. You know what I mean? Slept in late, which for him is like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Like, man, I feel like $1 million already. Go get it, baby. And what I'm reminding you of is there's honor in that. I just want to remind you there's honor in getting a decent rest. You say, well, Haziq, I can't sleep. Maybe you need to work out a little bit more. But taking the time to get a decent night's sleep is often the one thing that's keeping you from getting things under control. Now, I'm not saying don't go hard. Right now, we're about to go into a 90-day blitz. You might get less sleep during this 90 days than you normally get, right? But what I'm saying is you still got to get some, and you still want to make sure that you're using the concept of this. What I'm saying overall, which is this idea that you need recharge time. Last week, we were talking about how you can learn things quicker. And we brought that up at the same time. Like, you don't just study, and just make it like, You got to take breaks. You got to work in breaks. Even when you're doing nonstop phone calls during this 90-day blitz, whatever your industry is, still make sure you work in some breaks so that you can recharge, so you can kind of analyze what just now happened, so that you can, you're getting your nose, you're hurrying up and running through it, getting your nose, but that doesn't mean you don't want to improve each time. Each time you want to make it harder to get the nose. Am I making sense, y'all? If that makes sense, somebody say, sleep is for winners, and then give me a share. Sleep is for winners, and then give me a share. Let me make sure everybody's feeling me. If we're talking about staying calm, if you're getting into a place where things are frazzling your nerves, maybe you even need a nap. I'd rather you wake up and be powerful, man, than be out here half-assing it, and now people are thinking that's your standard. You get me? Here's number 7, and you knew this was going to come. Man, if you've been rocking with us any amount of time, you knew this was going to come. You knew this was going to come. Listen to me, millionaires. You got to squash negative self-talk. Number 7 is squash some of this negative self-talk. Squash this negative self-talk, y'all. Squash this negative self-talk. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? I mean, a big step in you managing your stress, right, is you stopping the fact that you keep on proclaiming and affirming and declaring how stressed you are. The more you ruminate on this negativity, the more power you give it. It's almost like that snowball rolling down the hill. You remember that when you were a little kid? How would you make a snowman? You would make the ball, and then you keep on rolling it. And then the more it rolls, the more it collects everything that's just like itself. Okay. The snow ain't picking up water. The snow ain't picking up grass. The snow ain't picking up, I don't know. Well, maybe there'd be some dirt in there, but mostly the snow is picking up snow, right? Well, that's what happens when you begin to roll your negative thoughts downhill. You're giving it more and more power, giving it more and more size, when at the end of the day, most of your thoughts are just that. They're just thoughts. These ain't facts, right? They're just thoughts. You hear me? When you find yourself believing these negative and pessimistic things that your inner voice keeps on saying, let me tell you what you do. You ready for a tactic to fight this? Somebody say, I'm ready. You ready for a tactic to fight this? If you can relate to this, let me see I'm ready. Let me see I'm ready. If you can relate to this. Yeah, that's right, Queen. You don't what Ali just said is important, y'all. I hope everybody sees what Alicia, we just put it on the Summer Jam screen. If you're on Clubhouse, I'm going to read it to you. I am. Something positive has to be behind that statement. When that book says, let the weak say, I am strong, it ain't telling you to lie. It's telling you that you are lying when you're proclaiming that this powerful God-like force that's in you, this creative force that was given to you by the Creator so that you can be creative. When you have the nerve to say, I am that I am broke, or I am that I am able to be stopped by these small little circumstances in my environment, you are lying. That's what we're saying. So here's a technique to beat that, y'all. Here's a technique to beat that. Appreciate that. All them I'm readies. All right. So here's a technique to beat that, y'all. Check it out. Write it down. I dare you write it down, y'all. I dare you write it down. You hear me? Just write it down. You can bet that a lot of this crap you're saying to yourself ain't true if you're back-to-back negative. How do you know that, Haziq? Because life is incredible. Life is incredible. And every single time you have a horrible story, right, it always turns into an incredible one. Why is it that bad times so quickly turn into good memories? Tell me I'm lying. Some of the craziest stuff you've been through are now some of your best stories. Some of the stories your friends love to hear the most. Some of the stories that make you feel like a G, a straight queen, a straight king, right? Because you went through it. But you can bet that your thoughts are not correct anytime you're using words like this. Somebody give me these in the comments. Never. Whenever you're using words like never, you know you lying. Worst. Whenever you use words like worst, you're lying. You're lying. Ever. That's another one. Somebody give me that in the comments. Never, always, worst. All these superlatives, right? Half the time they was lies when they gave them to us in high school, and they lies now, you know. But when you write it on paper and you give yourself the ability to look at it, what it does is, you know, you get to see this stuff and see, and then you can even take it to a colleague. You can take it to a coworker, right? And be like, do you agree with this? Is this true? Let me tell you what's going to happen next. The truth going to come out, y'all. Whenever it feels like something always or never happens, it's the brain. You're human. You have a natural tendency to exaggerate problems. Even in the world of home-based business, right? Your job is creating leaders. So a lot of times what you have to remember is that when one of your teammates comes to you with a problem, you have two choices. You can help them think like the average, or you can help them think like the world class. Does that make sense? Here's what you want to do if you want to think like the average. They bring you the problem, even though you know humans have a tendency to exaggerate, you go for it, right? You say, oh my God, that sounds horrible, right? And so then what do? You talk to the person above you, and then you start telling them. And because humans have the tendency to exaggerate, you tell them and you make it sound even worse, right? Then what do? Because humans have the natural tendency to exaggerate, they go and take it to somebody else and make it sound even. That's thinking like the average, right? But what I want you to do this time is I want you to learn to think like a leader. So when they bring that to you, you ask yourself, does this problem have anything to do with locating and developing 3 or 4 good leaders? Because if it doesn't, then chances are you're being active and you're being busy, but you ain't being productive. You're not doing what you got in this to do. You get what I mean? Millionaires. And it's all because of number 8. It's number 7. You need to write those thoughts down so that you can identify and label the thoughts as thoughts and separate them from the facts so you can escape this cycle of negativity, this cycle of self-abuse, because let's be honest, that's what it is. And then number 8, you got to reframe perspective. Reframe perspective. Reframe perspective. Come on, y'all. Reframe perspective. What can you do to reframe some of that perspective? I like that. Wealth coach is like bad times equal build awesome dreams. That's interesting, right? Isn't that weird how that works? It's crazy. Crystal in the house. What's up, Queen? I love it. I love it. All right, so number 8 is, reframe perspective. A lot of times, all this stress in our life as entrepreneurs, y'all, it's fueled by our own warped house of mirrors version of events. I give you an example. It's easy to think that some unrealistic deadline or some unforgiving, merciless, dream-sucking boss, right? Or some out-of-control traffic is the reason we stressed out. It's easy to believe that because after all, the boss is a jerk, right? Or after all, this traffic was insane, you know? I mean, my goodness. But what if I told you that since you can't control your circumstances, you're going to feel much more powerful controlling your perspective? Millionaires, you can't control the weather when you're on this championship, right? When you're in this relationship, right? When you're in this friendship, you can't control the weather, but you can adjust your sails. Y'all see what I did there? I love it. You gotta work on that. You gotta work on that. Straight up. Straight up. Millionaires, how good are you at controlling your perspective? You can't control your circumstances, but you can't control how you respond. And because I think this is one of the most important things that we've said today, I'd love to see in the comments how you rank yourself on 1 to 5, 1 being mediocre and 5 being millionaire minded. When you have a teammate come talk to you or a coworker or a staff member, and they come with this blown out view of events that's going to lead to them crushing their own morale, how good are you at reframing perspective, both for them and for yourself, both for yourself and for them? How good are you at taking a minute to put everything in perspective, to back up off that thing, to zoom out? My man E1 is a videographer, right? And a screenwriter and a bunch of other stuff, right? Podcaster, etc. I'm sure he would dig me that when you are up close on the scene, you're not going to see the whole thing. Sometimes you got to zoom out. There's a purpose for zooming in on a screen. There's a purpose for zooming in on a specific detail, but then there's a purpose for setting that. Let's look at the set, baby. Let's look at the context. If you aren't sure when you need to do this, I give you a clue. Try looking for clues that your anxiety might not be proportional to the stress. If you're thinking in these broad statements like everything is going wrong, oh my God, this whole relationship sucks, right? Nothing ever works out. A great way to create this hella unproductive thought pattern is to actually grab a pen and paper. Y'all know that's one of our favorite pieces of technology around here. And write down the things that actually are going well, right? Write down, actually make a list of the specific things that actually are going wrong or not working out. You can do either one. But what you're going to find is that everything's not going wrong. A couple things are going wrong. And a lot of times, once we list what they are, we can prioritize which ones suck the most and then fix them. Is that a fact? If you're an entrepreneur and you felt that, and you commit to doing something about it, if you're going to commit to reframing your perspective, let me see, reframe my perspective, and let's get a share going. Share this with an entrepreneur that needs to hear that. Here's number 9, y'all. Just breathe. Just breathe. Man, I went ahead and broke down and got an Apple Watch a couple months ago at this point. I grabbed the Apple Watch. Okay, I see a lot of 3s. I see a lot of I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I love the honesty, y'all. I love the honesty. I love the honesty. Let's go. Let's go. Come on, April. Come on, April. That's what I'm talking about. Good, Dr. Marilyn. Good, good, good. Hey, Travis, tell him again, bro. Tell him again, bro. That's right. So back to this Apple Watch thing. They have a little feature on there where you can push this button and it just has you breathe. Millionaires, when you're stressed out, One of the easiest ways to make that stress intermittent so that it helps you and not hurts you is breathe. Breathe, millionaire. The practice of being in the moment, the practice of actually focusing on your life, which is your breath, can do everything to change your perspective. When you're feeling stressed, take a couple seconds to focus just on, and I got something for you, right? This is going to trip you out. We always talk about how society has programmed us. We were born to win, but we've been programmed to fail, right? Because the more we fail, the more it makes us a better customer, right? The more scared we are, the more of a consumer we are, right? The more insecure we are, the more we try to purchase things to fill this hole inside, right? What if I told you we don't even breathe right? Check it out. Do you know when you breathe, and this just makes sense, but I want you to think about it. When you breathe, do you realize your diaphragm is supposed to get bigger, right? Think about it. You're breathing in air. So everything should be going out because it's breathing in this air. And then when you exhale, everything should be pushing in. We don't even breathe right. When you exhale, your whole diaphragm should contract and push that air out. We don't even breathe correctly. So what if you spent a minute today just breathing? Next time you're stressed, what if you close the door, right? What if you put away every other distraction, even your phone? I know, right? But yeah, even your phone, right? And then you just sat in a chair and you breathe. If you got a couple seconds, we could do it right now if y'all down for it. Who's down for it? Y'all down for it on Clubhouse? Let's try this for real quick. Let's just do 3 of them. Because some of y'all don't come rock with us on the affirmations, so you miss this opportunity every morning. Sometimes in the middle of the affirmations, we just stop and breathe, right? But let's do this together. Inhale. Feel it expanding. Exhale. Now it's contracting. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let it out. The goal is to spend the entire time just focused on your breathing. That wasn't as easy as you thought, right? And it's okay if you get sidetracked by something else, but then you just pull that thing back. It's going to be way harder than you think to do that for even a minute or two. Try to do it and count to 20. Just now we did 3 breaths and I lost some of y'all. Try to count to 20. And don't worry if you lose count. It's your life. You just get to start over, baby. It's going to seem a little too easy at first. It was going to seem a little too silly. But after you try it, you're going to see it ain't none of that. It actually ain't none of that. And yeah, April, it works every time. It works every time. It works every time. All right, y'all. Here's the last one I got for you. Ronnie checking in. What's up, bro? All right, here's the last one I got for you, man. They use their support system. I can't wait to hear this discussion on Clubhouse today, man. Like, we about to have some fun. We're going to go do our affirmations in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and put the number in the live line. But if you're on the Millionaire, if you're on Dear Millionaire, the text message system, you're about to get a link for Clubhouse. And it's going to allow you to join us and join the Millionaire Minded Club. If you want to, be alerted whenever we go live and do classes and everything, make sure you join the Millionaire Minded Club. But number 10 is they use their support system, y'all. My mentor says it all the time. Mr. Les Brown says it all the time. You ask for help, man, not because you're weak, but because you want to stay strong. You ask for help not because you're weak. You ask for help because you want to stay strong. But it's tempting, even though it's ridiculously ineffective, to try to tackle everything by yourself. You know the anthem of the poor. If you want something done right, you got to what? Do it by yourself. No, that's how poor people think. If you want something done right, you got to ask for help, man. You got to be a better teacher. You got to find somebody for whom your work is their play. But before you can do that, you got to recognize your weaknesses. And then you got to find other people's strengths. You got to appreciate the people around you. So now you're recognizing yourself. Remember, we always say first you got to invest in it, and then you begin to love it, and then you can leverage it. That's life, baby. And it's the same thing with your support system. Invest in them, right? Now you begin to love them. That just happens naturally because now you feel a part of their success, right? If we're talking about downline, now you feel a part of their growth. If we talk about your personal relationships or your family relationships, am I right? But check it out. Now that you love them and you're paying attention and you can fully acknowledge all of their pieces, now you can leverage it. Now you see what they're good at and how they're able to help you keep the movement moving, baby. Everybody has somebody at work or outside work that's there to support you, that's ready to help you get the best out of a difficult situation. Identify these individuals and treat them like liquid gold, because millionaire, these are the people that are going to help you accomplish your dreams. These are the people that in these little small ways, by even if it's just providing an outlet for your anxiety or supplying you with a new perspective on a situation, these are the people that change your life. The only difference between you this year and you next year, okay, it's some new information. It's some new perspectives. You know, we always say it's the books you read. It's the people you meet. But I'm saying it ain't just about you meeting them. It's about you getting into relationship with them. It's about you becoming a support system for them so they can become a support system for you. Millionaires, a lot of times people can't see a solution because they're too emotionally invested. But somebody else that ain't got all that on them, they zoomed out, they see it immediately. Why is it you think you can always see how your friend can change their life, but you can't never see it for yourself? You can always see the thing your friend always does, the pattern they're in, what's holding them back, but you can't see it so clear for yourself because it's hard to see that picture when you're in the frame. Millionaires, all I want you to know for number 10 is that asking for help will mitigate some of that stress. It will strengthen some of these relationships, and then it will make it so that you are somebody we can depend on as well. So I want to see it in the comments. What are some ways that you use to kind of like get rid of stress and to stay calm? Maybe one of these 10 didn't cover your favorite thing. You know, tell me, you know, if you have some more, put that thing in the comments. We need it. We need it, y'all. All right, we about to go do our affirmations, though. It's about that time. Repeat after me. We'll see you again in the morning, 7:30. If you're scared to do your affirmations with us, we understand. All right, repeat after me, millionaires. I am so